Now, who wants scrambled eggs? Raise your hand. What's on fire in that hideous little flower pot?
Alice made that.
Oh, it's darling. Tell her I said so.
Okay. You want one?
Of course I do.
Darjeeling Limited was the first film that Andy did with Wes. It's like a lovely world in the Wes Anderson world. It's very kind of storybook and beautiful, but there's always this undercurrent of kind of melancholy and yearning.
One of the things that I thought when we were working on the movie is it's a little bit like the Wizard of Oz, and you get to the end of their journey, and there is the wizard, and it's not what you think it is, and you're suddenly looking behind the curtain at this character. But we went through a lot of different versions of this scene to try and figure out what the tone was of it and what we really wanted to say. Obviously, there was a very clear conception there with the train sequence and everything of kind of recapping all the characters and all their little places in the movie that you've seen along the journey, and understanding that you see certain characteristics and traits in the mother that you've identified in these three boys that you know, but you've also come to learn that they're basically parentless, they're motherless.
We'll get an early start tomorrow morning and try to enjoy each other's company here in this beautiful place. B, we'll stop feeling sorry for ourselves. It's not very attractive. C, we'll make our plans for the future. Can we agree to that?
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
I think there were certain aspects of the scene that tried to answer that question of who this suddenly introduced this fully fleshed out character, why she is and who she is and why is she avoiding them and so on and so forth. And even though it was all good and well written and performed, it didn't really work and didn't really answer where the film ended up. That these three brothers they've raised each other, they are their family. But there were certain things there was a lot of other dialogue in the sequence that she gave and revealed, mostly Anjelica's character. Particularly after the main structural change we made there is that there was some dialogue removed in the body of the scene, but also after Owen's character challenges her in her little speech about how to basically continue avoiding or running away from whatever they're running away from. When he says, "Not for us," and she gets up, she used to, initially, she would launch into basically an emotional release that she had been holding back for all this time, and you learn some more information about the father's death, which had been very carefully metered out through the film. And it felt to all of us that it was too much. So what we arrived at is, rather than have her stand up and give the speech and then have her arrive at the point where she says, maybe we shouldn't say more, couldn't we just jump to that?
Maybe we could express ourselves more fully if we say it without words.
So it's not something that ever was obvious on the page, but once you get into it and get into the performances and start to make the connections with the characters, you realize you gotta be open to what's extraneous and what isn't.